Good evening, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Rutland Town Select Board. Today is January 27th, 2026. We have Joe Denardo, Mary Ashcroft, Matt Getty, and Sharon Russell. Kurt Hathaway is hauling salt from Albany to over this way to help out, so he's not going to be with us tonight. So please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. We have select board minutes. We'll start with January 13th. Aaron wasn't here. So
To approve.
motion's been made by Joe, seconded by Matt to approve the January 13th minutes. Any discussion? Corrections, additions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0 and 1 abstention. Next is the select board meeting following our pre-town meeting on January 20th, 2026. We were up at the school. Have you had a chance to review that? I see Sharon, you probably weren't there for all of it. You were there for the beginning. But we'll go with either Joe or Matt, I think. Motion's been made to approve and seconded by Joe. Any additions, deletions, corrections? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0 and 1 abstention. And we have a highway committee minutes, but we'll deal with that as we get closer, and we've got police committee minutes as well. Okay.
Sure.
Have you had a chance to review the orders?
Yes. Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve the orders.
Second.
Yeah, seconded. I looked them through. We've all had them. Any questions about anything there? If not, all in favor of approving the orders, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Okay. Board member announcements. Are there any? Nope. Update from the select board chair, just a very large thank you to Bill and Kari and the department heads, all for getting what they needed together, and the town report is put together. Thank you, Bill, and delivered to the printer, and we can expect it.
It was scheduled today, and then it was waylaid by us.
Oh, I've heard about
It's
that.
scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay,
It's guaranteed to us by tomorrow by the printer, so we'll see.
very good. And that's the proof? Okay. And then thank you to the same crew and all of those who came to our pre-town meeting up at Rutland Town School on the 20th. And for those very brave department heads who all made their debuts presenting their budget, which I thought went over very well.
That's good.
Nice work. Yep. And Chris is not on, so it probably took a lot out of him, but
Yeah.
nevertheless.
Does that mean you're gonna change your mind on moving forward?
You'll remember that I was the person who said no. Right. So
Right, that's why I'm asking.
I don't know.
Did it go okay?
It went fine. I didn't have to do much.
I
It
thought
was okay with me. Okay, so I'm assuming for the night before town meeting, you're all okay with the department
Same
heads
form.
doing it again?
Yep.
Okay. You're good. Okay. Questions from the floor or public comment? Mr. Lemieux, anything tonight?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And I don't see not too many people on Zoom tonight. Okay,
too busy, tuckered out from shoveling.
you're either tired and napping or out there shoveling still. Okay, we've had a special request from Deputy Chief Washburn to change the order of tonight's agenda. And unless anybody objects, and that doesn't include the highway commissioner because he was scheduled to go next. Why don't we just have Ted come up here and go through his report? And we also have an item down under E, the purchase of a new cruiser.
Correct. Good evening.
Good evening.
I have nothing other than this.
Okay. Well, then why don't you swing right into it?
So, police committee minutes, we had discussed the purchase of a new cruiser as part of the replacement schedule. McGovern's is the place we went through before. They have 2 Chevy Tahoes on the lot currently. So we wouldn't have to wait for build time or anything of that nature. They could start essentially once they get the contract and they get it on the calendar. The quote is, I believe, about $4,936,000 more than last year, because that is exactly.
936.
Yeah.
$49.36.
Yeah, sorry. And that is because the car went up by that amount. Everything else was,
4,900.
So the
Yeah.
price that's in the minutes, the 7,921,715, is that it? Or all the other,
Got to add to it.
do we have to add all the other stuff to that?
correct.
Okay.
So the price from McGovern's is for all the emergency lighting, the sirens, the installation of the prisoner transport. They will also install a provided camera system and radar system
Okay,
when we get it to them.
so there are 2 more, at
There-
least 2 more.
Yep, so they will run the wiring for the 2 radios for us. But we will need to purchase the radios, at least 1 radio separately, which is the other quote from CVC for $2,446.
So there's roughly about $6,000 worth of equipment to go with the car, plus some installation costs possibly.
And there's more.
Oh, yeah. So a development that we didn't have was we had reached out to Motorola because Motorola took over WatchGuard, which is the in-car camera system and our body cameras. They weren't exactly, their customer service hasn't been the best the past several years since they were absorbed by Motorola. We asked for a quote last Wednesday, didn't hear anything. Officer Plackett reached out to them Thursday. They said it could take up to 3 business days to get a quote. So yesterday afternoon, they finally sent the quote over for, I think it was about $12,000
Mhm.
for an in-car camera system. And I said, absolutely not. We're not paying $12,000 for a camera system. So the play now will be to, as the truck is going to be shifted from the line to the SRO, we're going to remove the camera system from the truck and have it installed in the new cruiser. And that will get us through the next couple years.
So are we kind of like running out of options for your camera systems?
So they no longer make our camera systems, but they're still serviceable. So we should be able to get through the next couple of years with them. If something major breaks, we can still get them fixed. But we are gonna have to talk about placements in a couple of years.
Yeah, I just worry about you getting pushed into a corner with a sole vendor and you're at their mercy.
So there's a lot of other vendors out there now who offer body worn cameras and in-car cameras. So we will shop around.
Okay.
And we'll make sure we do things the right way.
So total amount. The McGovern quote is $79,217.15. The CVC paging is 2446.29. And the Doppler radar is $3,640. My tally is 85,303.39. Anybody else
something
tally it up?
There's another $5,000 for something. Or maybe that was the estimate for the.
I originally thought it was $5,000 for the camera,
Yeah.
and that's no.
So, and the police committee suggested we use the money in the Cortina fund. And somewhere in, here it is,
153 and something, right?
yep. Deducting the expenses from the balance Kari has for us, 153,177. So there's enough money there. It's your pleasure.
Hey, we buy the thing that quoted.
That's what I came up with. The three numbers on the page.
339. Oh, we're about 5 cents off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Motion's been made and Joe just seconded.
Yeah. Sharon's been second, yeah. And this fits your schedule. Which vehicle are you gonna be replacing?
It's gonna get rid of the 2016 Charger.
Okay.
You're right. It is 85,303.44.
I did it on paper and I did it in my head and then I went back and checked because your numbers were different than mine and I said, I might have messed up.
Okay,
Yeah.
motion's been made and seconded. To spend that amount and use the Cortina fund. Any discussion?
I asked him about which car they were replacing. And that's a 2016, right?
Correct.
10-year-old vehicle, so. Nothing on that's worth reusing or to any extent.
So it has lights and sirens and it's still a car. I'm gonna see if I can get an agency out there somewhere to pick it up.
So,
Just
okay.
turnkey.
And,
I don't
and,
have housing equipment either.
yeah, I mean, if you sold it intact the way it is, should bring you something.
Hope so.
Given the price of a new vehicle, somebody that would need a second vehicle. How many miles on it, do you know?
Ballpark 70,000-ish.
So we talked about this a little bit. And I know Kurt mentioned it and we've talked about our second constable using a town-owned vehicle for what he's doing. I don't know if that's better or worse. I like the idea that this time of year he has a 4-wheel drive. And so, and I'm okay with the system we have, but I don't know if that's something your committee, you guys want to talk about and see if we want to hang on to it and make that vehicle available. It's just, it'll need to be housed someplace and it's another maintenance thing. So it might not be something we want to do, but I don't know.
Well-
a lot of money to each truck.
You know,
Yeah.
well, there's some, and if you have that. if-
Okay, so that's kind of a second motion because that's to
Right,
get rid
right,
of the
okay.
old cruiser. So let's take care of that.
Well, the discussion is to, okay,
Buying the new cruiser
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
Cortina fund.
you're right.
Okay, any further discussion of that? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye, motion carries 4-0. And is this, do you have the quotes?
In front of me, yes.
Okay, so I think we need someone to approve
Yep. So
signing.
I think
Oh, is it there? All of them?
The one that I think try.
Hmm,
we want somebody from within.
yes,
Police department.
I don't care.
I
mean, I'm here.
We authorize the police chief, or I guess that's to sign on behalf of the town.
Is Ed going to be,
I should see him tomorrow because he has trial prep tomorrow.
okay, so he'll be in?
Sign something else. Well, so
Okay,
Are we, we're not against a deadline or anything, are we? Other than that, they might sell the car.
correct.
Okay, because I know the other car we bought, we were trying to get it and it was the only one like on planet Earth at the time.
Correct.
And then you guys ran into all kinds of glitches, but we still got it. You
okay, the
know.
pending motion is to have the police chief sign.
Yep.
Is there a second? I think motion seconded, discussion. I think we already had it. All in favor of having the chief sign on behalf of the town, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Okay,
And I don't know if you need a motion, Mary, but I would ask that the police committee, discuss the possibility of keeping the car that, we're replacing for the constable use and maybe include JP in that conversation. See what you think?
Bill, could you please stick that on the police agenda? Thank you. We may be not meeting right away.
Right,
We've been meeting a lot lately.
right, and this doesn't become an issue until the new vehicle's here, ready to put on the road.
Right.
Because you're not gonna short yourself a vehicle. And it won't devalue the car by any means, you know. And in the meantime, I mean, I guess you could put some feelers out, see if somebody's interested, but it's just something we discussed as a board, and now we're here, so if it has
You wanna
merit,
buy
fine.
it?
Huh?
You want to buy it?
I'm not starting my own police department, but I might park it on Grove Street and just leave it there.
Okay.
Go find, you know, like they did the TV, you know, just get a shell there and stick it.
They did that in Dorset for a while. too.
Yeah.
Get some money
So,
endorsed.
This has
Apparently.
been bothering me all the last 2 days. Snow covered roads, everybody is struggling with a lack of salt in the region, and this is severe storm. And I think all the highway departments around ours, the city, everybody has done really a really good job. When you stop somebody for speeding and the roads are like they are now, is there any increase in the fine? Is there any way to make that sink in?
It's a separate fine.
Okay,
It's driving too fast.
okay.
It's
Be-
separate.
because I can tell you right now, you could have paid for this cruiser on Grove Street in the last 2 days. And the worst offenders are the people in their private vehicles with plows and sanders that drive like the road is bare. And we have a terrible amount of them on Grove Street. I just don't understand. And it's a wonder that you guys weren't, and the fire department hasn't been out steady with the way they drive up and down the road in these conditions.
Do remember that any revenues from tickets go to the general fund, so it doesn't look like we're raising money to purchase yet another.
That was just a,
Okay,
parrot, whatever you want to call it.
right.
I know we can't do that because it tends to make people question our motives.
Right.
I'm just wondering because, I mean, it's just,
It's what it would be. It'd be a separate call.
okay.
Okay. Anything else for our police department? Quick, before he wants to spend more money. Okay,
Appropriate.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Dave Sears, Town Road Commissioner.
Hey, good evening,
Jim.
everybody.
Did you catch up on your sleep?
No, no. Actually, we left work today at 2:00 and we had 31 hours at the end of Tuesday. So, yeah, no. But with that being part of the conversation, our contractors are up to 36 calls as of today. So they're definitely going to break the limit. We have, as Joe brought up, there's a kind of a salt issue going on. We're actually experiencing it too. Our vendor brings their salt in on ships from a couple different countries, Egypt, Morocco, and someplace else. And they have 2 ships in the ocean that are stranded in storms. I don't know how that works. I don't know anything about shipping, but
About to get saltier.
I would think that waves on the ocean are kind of part of it, right? But I don't know. So anyway, we have about 200 tons on hand right now. We didn't have a whole lot more than that when this thing started. And I want to give a shout out to the town guys and our contractors. I put a moratorium on spreading salt when this thing started, and they didn't. They took care of it. They just plowed and we 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 plowed. And we salted this morning for the first time all weekend. They did really well. Everybody worked really, really hard, and we got it done. And just, I brought this up at the end of December, and I'm going to do it again in January just because. And I didn't write down all the dates this time, but for the month of January so far, we have been out 17 days out of 27. Now, not all of those were single events. Some of those we were out for 8-10 hours. So the numbers aren't really, you can't really go by those numbers because like our contractors, their call outs are 4 hours. So if they're out for 8 hours, that's 2 calls. So we had several days in the month of January where we were out and maybe went home and came back in, or we were out for an extended period of time. But of the month of January, 17 out of 27 so far. And I believe December was relatively close to that. This year's been a barn burner. To get out of the snow thing, please and thank you. That's a lot of what we've been doing, but as Bill commented, great minds think alike. So I was working on the vehicle replacement schedule that you guys asked for, and unbeknownst to me, so was Bill. So I've got the skeleton of the thing put together, and then he came up with another list that he put together with some stuff from VLCT, and he kind of blended a bunch of stuff. So he got that to me today or yesterday, I think. So if it stops snowing long enough, I can take my thing and transpose it onto his thing and have a thing. So we're almost there.
Good, thank you.
As far as the pre-town meeting, I'm not sure I have another one of those in me, but hey, I'll give it a shot.
Well, thank you for
Yes.
doing your presentation. That
You're
was
welcome.
good.
You're welcome. The only other two things I have are letter C on the list is a no from us.
Yeah.
No issue.
Oh,
No issue.
oh.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little different.
Okay.
Okay,
So just in case I'm not here when that does actually come up, we are a no. You can just
okay.
put a big red check on ours and keep moving. And the only other thing I have is I requested this last meeting, but we do need to have a committee meeting in regards to the water situation on Hitzel Terrace. I know this time of year is tough for a couple of us on the committee to kind of nail down a day, but we really do need to sit down and talk about this. And that's what I got.
Okay. Well, big thanks to you, Dave, and to the highway crew and the contractors for handling all of this very well. We appreciate it.
I will relay that.
Thank you.
I was looking at, we had a meeting on the 16th, Dave, and there's nothing really on here. We just a few things we went over. The only thing would be the, letter that we were sending to the Eco Car Wash regarding, crash or going down the sewer line. Did that letter go up, Bill? Right.
They've gotten two letters. They've gotten the one about the debris in the line and the one about their allocation.
Okay.
Good.
So the only follow-up question, and I know that between the 16th and today, you've probably been in a truck seat most of the time, but I didn't know if you had a chance to order that screen yet.
I have. It's in. They actually called this morning and said it's in. I just haven't had time to get down there and get it. But
I don't believe that.
I did, and I don't remember who told me because my brain is starting to short circuit, but somebody told me that they went down there to get their car washed and they had people climbing in the back of trucks, removing cups, cans, bottles, chew cans, cigarette packs, whatever. The people at the car wash were actually climbing in the back of trucks and cleaning them by hand prior to them going through the wash. So the letter apparently had some effect, and then we'll get this
And
screen.
where was that debris then going?
I'm assuming into some sort of trash receptacle.
Yeah.
They were
Good.
removing it from the trucks before, because that's everybody's opinion is that's what's happening. That's how we're getting this stuff is the pressure from the car wash is so extreme that, you know, soda cans and Gatorade bottles and chew cans and all the crap that ends up in the back of a truck get blasted out and end up in their system. So the letter went out. Apparently it took effect. It had an effect, and they had people actually climbing in the back of trucks and removing that stuff before it got blasted out and into the system. So that's a step in the right direction.
Okay, good. Okay, questions or anything else for our road commissioner, Matt?
Well, maybe a question for Joe as much as for Dave, but on this Hitzel thing. With the plan, you guys got a report, right?
Yeah, I think it's like an 80-page report from, yeah.
And then what was, and you're all discussing it, or you having a meeting with?
Yeah.
We're going to invite them in
And
and talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, the engineer's gonna be invited, the special committee is gonna be invited, and you're like, okay.
we want to see what they come up with, right?
Tell us what you wanna do.
If anybody bothered to read it yet, you know, but then give you the executive summary.
It's huge. Like, I looked at it, I don't understand everything in it, so we need their contractor, their vendor that's created this thing to come and talk to us about it, so.
Have you had Dave, have you had a chance to look at it?
I have not.
I'm sure that's gotta be,
I don't know, did Bill get it in an email or is it hard copy?
I did get an email, I have one printed copy in my office.
If you want to just email that to me, I can scan through it and
Sure.
between plow.
No problem.
but yeah, we just want to see what they came up with, and that discussion we had about possible funds available for these projects, water, sewer, where there was housing. That's why I kept bringing that up. If we could find some way to develop something, a developer that wanted to build several houses.
Yep.
And then we could maybe get some funding, because that whole area up there has a water problem. That's never going to go away until everybody's, I guess, is on city water.
Josh, what district, you're in a fire district, yeah? Or do you have your own well?
We have our own, yeah, our Grandview Estates has their own system.
Right.
For 35 of us.
Yeah.
Which is,
And you must be facing some of the same challenges with clean water and meeting all the water quality stuff and distribution.
Zero,
Zero so far?
but it's $1,000 a year, I think is where the house, we struggle. Because it's an age system, so Perks is constantly there repairing line after line after line after line. So we're definitely out of water days, for days. And not days, but, days throughout their
Yeah.
repair period.
But as far as the water quality, you're not having any issues.
Not at all.
Because some of you guys are, right?
Yeah.
There's stuff going on
There's
that's,
no silt, there's no
yeah.
aftertaste, there's no coloration or anything.
Yeah.
Really good. You gotta test it.
quality has been pretty good, but it's a struggle to get people to do the work required,
Yeah, and it's also a struggle to get people doing the work to follow how the town's protocols on digging in the right of way and across roads. We have a lot, we've had some real issues with that, so just get that out there, that there are rules that you have to follow. But anyway. All right,
Okay, anything else?
other than the time to schedule that meeting, and I don't know when we can do that, Dave. I don't know. You and Kurt are the
Yeah,
two that
keep
have
bringing
the
it.
most volatile, schedule.
Yeah.
My schedule is a little more flexible.
I think it's just the size of, 11 by, what is the size of the page?
All right, very good.
If there's nothing else, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
too.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for a good job.
Okay,
Thank you.
we've heard from Ed Dumas won't be in, but Ted covered for him. Mike Rowe, Town Rec Director.
Crispy with carrot.
Chris is not on tonight.
Chris won't be on, and there's somewhere there's a application, Mary.
There is.
Okay, when we get to it, he wanted to make sure, but.
Yep.
Hello,
how are you
doing?
Since we last met, we've had 2 senior luncheons, grab and goes, and we served how many? Well, over 70 today. Not all 70 come out. They come out and pick up a couple for each and take them to their neighbors and what have you. So it's been a little bit more than I thought it would be as far as successful.
And who was your celebrity chef?
The celebrity chef today, I'm trying to remember her name. She's got a big heart. She's short in age. Sharon. Sharon was there. And Stan Blickhart's also helped us scoop sauce and macaroni, and we cooked the pasta right there. And we did clean the garage, the barn. They were over at Center Rutland. So it went very well, and they're very appreciative. So next week is goulash for those. Everybody gets this, but they know that they have a senior menu. And that's moving along. Basketball is moving along. We're past the midway point, so it's starting to go down. So we've put out our spring registration information. And then the rink as well. I will have to use the tractor to clean it off this time, but we've devised a way to get the tractor onto the rink, which is great. The snow blower won't handle the amount of snow that's on there now, so that's being done tomorrow, but we have people scheduled to skate on it Friday and Thursday. So as long as it's not too chilly. And then people can skate any night, anytime. It's wide open. The lights go off at 8 o'clock. We have bench outside. You can sit down, put your skates on, go for a little twirl around the ice. Please feel free to enjoy and have fun with it. Other than that, I'm starting to transition a little into spring, slowly but surely, which is what you all want to hear, especially Dave.
Okay,
So,
anything for Mike?
Other than the fact it's been the first year since you tried that we've actually had winter.
yeah.
Been cold.
With the
Yeah.
ice rink, yeah.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, it's only gonna, now that we've kind of got it figured out, and the hard part was before is who would maintain it, and you know, it was kind of the school. And now that I'm able, that's one of my goals. It's great to be able to offer that. I have one question, which is nothing, and I don't want to take more than 2 minutes. And I was thinking the other day, why do we have, I understand why we have pre-town meeting, but now why are we going to have town meeting? And my only thought was, I get that you would vote, it's the day before you vote, but nothing can be done. Because anything that could be done was done at pre-town meeting where you could possibly go and change stuff because nothing's on the ballot officially. So my question is, why are we redundant, especially when we don't get coverage in the newspaper about the 4 people that will be there to talk about the budget? So I'm throwing that out there, like maybe we should think about adjusting and trying to get more people at pre-town meeting where their voice is actually heard, where change can actually possibly be made, whereas town meeting, they can come and we can talk, but nothing to the 4 or 5 people there can be done because it's already on the ballot and everything else. And I understand how it works, but it was just I just was like, why are we doing,
That's one, that's.
why are we doing 2?
The other
in the old days-
answer is.
I know the old
I
days.
don't know.
It was just a thought. I was like,
So didn't towns actually vote
yes,
town meeting they didn't vote by Australian ballot?
they voted by raising their hand.
Was it like when we do the night before, or would they vote the next day?
No, we voted the night before. Or did we split it? Did we vote on some
don't
things the
remember.
night before and then?
Because
the other
since
things?
I've been voting, it's
Yeah.
always been by Australian ballot, like
Yeah.
you go to a bowling place. And so I wonder if this isn't the carryover,
It might very well, it probably is.
older day, this is the way we, most of it, I do believe both times, like you said, the first time you can actually make changes, but it's informational, I think is what a lot of it is. So people get to ask questions. If you're on the fence about something, this is your chance to find out why. I guess that would be my explanation. One of the goals that Mary and I have had, because we've been together here for quite a long time, about the remodeling downstairs is to be able to have the town meetings downstairs with this type of technological setup, so people can participate in that pre-town meeting. And we did have that ability, but I have had more comments about the uncomfortableness of the chairs in that library than anything
Oh,
to do with the budget or anything else. It's like, can't we have this someplace? But that is our, so I don't know.
I just wanted to bring it out because
we can't do anything this
no,
year.
I'm not saying that, but
Obviously,
maybe
because
we
everything
can
is
promote
fine,
that pre-town, because people do have questions, and
Yeah.
it's not like we would get covered like we used to.
Yeah.
Where the day before, it's all said and done. God bless the 5 people that come and ask the questions that are on the fence, and I love that. But maybe we should think about putting more energy behind our pre-town, where something truly could potentially be done, because nothing is in stone at that point.
Well, there was energy at the pre-town meeting.
It was fantastic. I'm just saying maybe we I don't know. That's all. I don't want to go any further. Just my 2 cents of,
Appreciate your,
of-
and I
you
don't
know.
know, and it's worth looking into, so.
To be fair, you can't change much on the stone after pre-town meeting either, because we gotta get the thing published.
Yeah,
True.
which is why we went
Very-
into our select board meeting after to see if we wanted to make any changes, so.
it's just, it perplexed me, like I'm gonna do it again, but
Yeah.
what am I doing it for? For history,
The
for
second time.
tradition?
Yeah, I think the second time is mostly anybody that is still on the fence.
And that's great. I just,
I don't.
like I said, if I didn't say it, I wouldn't. Oh, am I excused?
Any other questions for our town rec director?
And
If
thank you
not-
again. I'll write it out. I know you can't hear me because your
Thank you.
hearing aids aren't in, but thank
Maybe
you.
you need to have her make meatballs for the meeting.
Yeah,
Well, he's almost in that senior category where we could have brought him a little container of meatballs.
he is so not a senior.
No, I know. Not that far away though.
All I know is I made a lot of
And
meatballs.
you did wonderful. Thank you.
JP is not on.
You
Barbara Noise Pulling. Barbara and I had a session this past week, which she will tell you about.
We had,
And
yes,
Dave and Mike, this will interest you a little.
Okay, I'll go after this.
Okay, thank you.
good evening, everybody. Yeah, yesterday, Mary and I met with Green Mountain Power about the Pocket Park. And that was a result of a Green Mountain Power meeting with FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And that meeting was about how serious, it was about several different things, but one of the things is that FERC seems to be a little skeptical that Rutland Town, given its history with trying to put a park in that very same parcel, 3-4 decades ago. They're a little skeptical that, or they want to know whether the town is serious and going to do this, because this is part of GMP's license for that hydropower unit that they have there. The GMP had to clarify some things with them, like, Rutland Town is not Rutland City, so it's not the third largest municipality in the state and doesn't have all these financial resources available to just do this park, as if the city does either.
I was going to say, where do they have it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they expressed some uncertainty about whether GMP is really working with the town, which is ridiculous. We've been working hand in hand for well over a year now. So there's going to be a meeting with GMP, Mary and I, and FERC, and I'm not sure who else, in early February to kind of clear some of these things up and alleviate any concerns that they might have. So there's no bumps in the road there.
What exactly is the licensing issue? Are they required to make sure that a park happens?
Yeah.
I think it's community input or something there
No, it's actually, you have to have a recreational component for a power dam licensing project.
Really?
And the weird part is GMP is no longer controls the land where the recreational component will be. We do. We also said, no, we're not giving back the land. But what it turned out was the latest FERC had about plans was from like 1990 or 1994. And I said, would you just give them all of the work the planning commission's been doing and the designs? And so their GMP is going to pass that through to FERC, but they wanted to include us in this discussion because yes, we're serious about it. And which is what, which I'd like to ask you folks tonight, if I can do a couple of things. One is to get on the road crews list of projects so we can at least talk about doing the road with the old roadway to the overlook and having that graded. And that means we need to cooperate with Mike. Remember, we've applied for grants, so we have several designs in the works there. But also, if you folks are willing, to allow us to be in touch with Robert Clark to do some basic designs just to get that overlook put into place. All right, I don't have any numbers for you. We won't go crazy, but we need to.
Well, one thing I noticed on our financial reports is we've used most of our professional service money.
Yeah.
Except we're saving money on the lawyers because he's
Right.
hasn't gotten to his job list.
There you go.
Bill yet.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So,
either one of those things.
So,
We've done, so just the money end of this. So we've done this before where we've used capital improvement
Yes.
funds for different things. And we did, I think, part of the bike path. So we've already established as a board that we're willing to put these funds into recreation. So I think that component of it is there. And I like everything. Tasking our highway department to do some of this stuff is okay. But I don't want any backseat drivers. Okay. And I'm going to be as polite as I can about this. No, not you.
Okay.
But when our highway crew goes out, there's some things that haven't come out quite as planned, but I don't like other people being brought back in to second guess what's being done.
Okay.
And I was unhappy with what went on at the pre-town meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see a repeat of that because our guys, the town highway department, whether it's been under Byron or it's been under Dave, they get all the jobs in town, from changing air conditioners in the clerk's office to putting in windows or doing whatever. And I was just a little upset the other night.
Okay.
And I didn't
Well,
want.
please don't let it spill over. I see your point, which is why I was thinking Robert Clark.
Why, and Robert,
Yeah.
Robert is an excellent choice and he will do this stuff for us. But he is a professional on the job.
Yeah.
And he is also the professional on the job for that shared use path. And he is the person who has the final say.
Yep.
And I want to get that out there because this has been eating at me for a week and I finally just have to get this off my chest. But I'm all in favor of doing this. Also, I would be very much in favor if we send the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission a map of Rutland Town and show them where we are and that we are a separate entity and any other, and if we have to have a letter typed up from this board, we own the land now
Yeah.
and we are 100% in favor of this. We've already
Yes.
put probably thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours of time. I mean, I know the planning commission has done a ton of work.
Bill,
and Barbara Mary, everybody's put, Dave, everybody, right. And maybe we need to just give them some kind of a little timesheet. This is what we've done.
Well,
Okay.
that's part two, because Barbara and I are having coffee tomorrow and we're going to scope out some of this stuff.
Okay.
So
I mean-
we're prepared for FERC.
And there might be an MOU between us and
Yes.
GMP just to prove we're on the same
That we're
page.
serious.
I mean, we own the land now.
Yes.
It was theirs, it's
That's why
ours
I
now.
said we're not giving it back.
Right,
They
and
understand.
we are committed to this project. I believe the board is more than,
It's on our list.
yeah. So,
You can
anyway.
just send him a picture of
We
the
can send a
list.
picture of the list, yeah.
I don't know. You gotta wonder where these people that have so much power and so much authority get their information. Because that's so outdated, it's
Oh,
ridiculous.
by the way, we were also informed that this meeting with FERC and with GMP and now us at the town, FERC is going to be bringing their lawyer. So GMP is also lawyering up. I see no reason for us to bring our lawyer, but I plan on attending, but not as a lawyer. Just to find out they can't impose anything on us.
No.
As landowners. It's just the cooperation that we're doing with GMP. They know here
And it
about this.
appears we have a very good relationship with Green Mountain Power.
I think we do. And this goes back to when they were first going for this relicensing, because 5 years ago, I was up at their building
Yeah, I mean,
with their
Seems like maybe
people.
there's an argument going on. It has nothing to do with this project.
entirely possible.
yeah, there's something else. You're right,
It's
Matt.
got some other B in it.
Um,
I think.
Not that this will be of anything, but I don't think it would hurt if what's going on, you just through a quick email to Kevin.
Okay,
Just to let
okay.
him know what's going on, and to me, it's quite foolish, but just so he's aware that we're in the middle of this process where a federal entity is trying to tell us whether we're serious about doing something with our land.
Okay, yeah, and I had mixed thoughts about that, and that's fine. I had no problem.
Yeah.
Emailing.
I just think keep him in the loop, because if all of a sudden we need a lawyer and he's gonna say, huh?
Yeah, fair enough.
We don't need that
Fair enough.
reaction
No,
from
we
him.
don't need that. Okay. One other thing, I would like to pursue getting a quote from a landscaper who's going to advise on removing invasives and probably pruning lower branches on trees.
So,
But again, not asking for any amount of money because I don't know.
so
yet.
whether you want to hire that out or you want to have that be,
Part of what Robert does.
well, yeah, I mean,
can ask him if he can do
you know, he could do that and map out a plan and then work it in, and whether Dave and his crew, because I know there is some expertise on his crew with some of the stuff with plants and
Me
stuff,
too.
you know, so we could do stuff. I mean, I'd like to put as much funding as we can into materials and stuff and try to minimize how much hired help or professional, get what we need, but
Okay.
don't go overboard.
Okay.
Do you need anything from us to pursue this as a board?
I think so. I think it will, Barbara and I will have probably something a little more after we meet tomorrow. Mike's got his hand up. You wanna
just
have-
Say, I've already had 3 community members reach out
Yeah.
that would like to help with this project.
Yes.
One, I think is former student, I'm trying to put the name in, but whatever. and
Yep.
He gave me a little bit of information the other day. So there is an interest in the community. to
Good.
Move forward with this and willingness to help. So I think when we organize it, we'll have a good deal of support.
I think we
within the
will too.
community And with Dave's crew, and whatever, to get whatever we need done.
Just hold a senior lunch over there. Just hold a senior lunch over there.
Right.
Yeah.
And send them out to weed after.
When you get into, you know, like if you want to put some picnic tables there,
Yes,
okay?
that's part of the
And
plan.
if, you know, we buy the materials,
Stafford?
that or I know people, a
Okay.
person who's very good at building things.
Okay.
And, you know, so,
And
We
there's
can
my
get-
Rotary Club who
you know,
hasn't been asked to
so
do
there's things,
stuff in
or,
town
you know,
lately.
you guys have been involved with things like the scouts
Yeah.
and projects like that. So make this as much of a community thing, you know.
Absolutely.
that-
I
that
have
we
been
can.
all along, Joe. I
So-
mean, we
so-
had the,
Yeah.
part of our application for the latest grant shows the scouts down putting in kayaks there.
You know, I mean, you know, so if we needed somebody, you know, and I'm probably speaking a little out of turn, my brother's birthday, but that's all right. He could be a resource with me or whatever to help a bunch of people build picnic tables or do stuff, you know, we can,
Thank you.
you know, so these are some things that, you know, we could,
Good.
to make this work.
Good. Okay, Barbara, I'm making notes. I hope you are too.
Yeah, right. And Matt, to kind of follow up a little bit more about your question, so far, the only thing that FERC is requiring of GMP as far as a recreational asset there or the park is that survey. I think we've talked about once or twice that GMP will be doing each year and then reporting back to FERC, like how many people are using it, how they're using it, things like that. I don't think FERC is gonna have much more oversight than that, despite these hiccups here at the beginning.
We're not even sure FERC knows what they want. Hence the MOU idea was out there, but they said, just wait on that until we figure out what FERC wants. So.
Right. So the planning commission, the Rutland Town, the Town Planning Commission, we're going to have our first meeting about what the content should be on signs. And that first meeting will be with Indigenous people, the tribes. There's 4 tribes in Vermont, and then there's a couple others that are interested in being part of this. So we'll do that on February 19th and at a regular meeting. And then we'll, 3 weeks from there, or maybe 6 weeks from there, we'll be talking to local historians and doing a similar type meeting, just getting ideas. What do we need on the signs? And right now we have a kiosk. If we get the T-Mobile grant, we might have some more money for additional signs, but we don't know the status of that yet. So we'll start with what will fit on the kiosk. And then I'll probably have a meeting, a planning commission meeting with residents, especially people in that area. If see what history is in their minds, or whatever, content that they might have. So that will all be done this spring. And that, I think, is all I have.
Right. So kind of fun time. Anyone's welcome to join in these sessions. And yes, I've had a couple of people express interest in working on that as well. So we've got interest out there. So thank you, Barbara, and I'll see you tomorrow for coffee.
Okay, will do.
Right.
Okay.
And thank you, Mike, and thank you, Dave. Now you know what we're cooking up for work for you. All righty. Anything else for Barbara and the Planning Commission? If not, thank you very much. Have a good evening. Okay, Larry Dell Veneri, no.
No, he was there and gone.
You was.
Marcia Chioffi, Head Lister,
Oh, Marcia.
no. Kari Clark, Town Clerk and Treasurer.
I'm here.
Wonderful, thank you.
I couldn't find the button. All right. So I don't really have too much, really. I checked the status of our taxes right before I left today.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel right. And it was at 92% for the second payment, which is low for us.
Yeah.
Usually we're in the high 90s, almost, like 96, 97, and this was 92. So I'm all hopeful that people hear this and say, oops, I forgot to pay, and contact us on how to do that. Because I had to, you probably saw in the orders, I did the check for the
Yes.
school. And
Yeah.
that takes a lot of it. And I had to make sure that we had enough. So with everything, we do have enough. Just it was a lot closer than usual. So we should be okay with these orders. But that's what I wanted to report out. I put together the ballot this morning for town meeting and had a couple pairs of eyes on it. And then I sent it off to LHS. They're a printer for our ballots, and she will get approved to me as soon as possible. It's kind of a tight schedule usually this time of year, but I'm anticipating that will come soon, and we might see the ballots maybe late next week, early the week after. Once that happens, then I can send the absentee ballots out to those who have requested it. So it's a little bit of a tight schedule, but it usually works itself out. But anybody that wants to do that, wants to request their ballots, they can call us as usual. And then we're not really selling a whole lot of dog licenses. So I got to come up with an idea of how to get that out there. Maybe make a couple posters for the transfer station, fire departments, maybe the school or something. Because there's certainly a lot of dogs out there. It's just we need to, get those people in and registered. So I welcome any ideas of how to spread the word. So
Yeah.
and call me or email me with any ideas. But that's pretty much what I have tonight.
Okay, well, big thanks from the police committee for pulling together the information on what's in the Cortina funds. So thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
And for all of your pre-town meeting work too. So that was very good.
Yeah, it's great. And I do want to, I see it personally, and I think we've all said thank you to the highway crew, but I wanted to publicly extend the thank you to them from everyone who appreciates their work. We know that they're tired and very happy with how they are handling things. So just wanted to say that. And I also was one of those people that witnessed the splash car wash. I was going through the car wash, and in front of us, in front of Chris and I, was a truck, and the two workers that were from Splash, they were going through the back end of the truck. So it might have been Chris that Dave heard it from, but we witnessed it for first point of view. So it was
So
good.
did the stuff that came out of the back of the truck go into a trash can?
So the stuff in this particular truck wasn't garbage, but they were just kind of moving.
Okay.
This, I don't even know what it was, honestly. I couldn't tell you, but it was they were certainly from both ends. There was a girl and a guy on one
Okay.
side, and then the other side had another person. So I didn't see
Good.
anything being thrown away. Maybe that truck didn't have anything to be thrown away, but I commented that that was good.
Yes, thank you. Number 4 in your packet are the half-year ledger sheets, the status report on spending in each department. And let's see, I had one question, Kari, that I asked Mike Rowe, and it's not about money spent, it's about money that came in.
Uh-huh.
And that's under, you remember that the Rutland Town seniors turned over that checking account to the town with about $5,000 in it.
Yes.
And I know Mike has been spending it for the senior meals on Tuesdays. We didn't show that as income anywhere, did we?
It was the way that the auditors had me do it, it was put into that line. So it looks really funny in that line. I think it's a negative number and it's not supposed to be, but it's in that line. So,
It's
yes,
in
he's
an
been,
income line or it's in an
it was in
expenditure
a
line?
expenditure line, I believe. I'll have to double check with
Yeah,
them. I did it a couple months ago when they were with us.
okay,
Because he had me look at that the other day. And I'm
okay,
pretty sure it's been consistent with it's negative, and it must have something to do with because I put it in a expense line like that.
okay.
But I'll
I
double
just
check
wanted to
with
make
you
sure
or with
we,
the auditor.
yeah. And other members of the select board, anything jump, and a question for Kari. Anything jump out in any of the departments that is, I know some are close to spending like 98 or 100% of certain items. Anything we need to be concerned about? We're halfway through and some of the expenditures are as if we're at the end of the fiscal year.
Was that a question to me or the department heads?
It's a question to the full select board and also to you.
Yeah.
The only question I'd have, Carrie, about these reports, and I don't know how you could do this, but is there a way to separate each individual department, like a section that's the general budget and then a section that would be fire and identifiable? Because sometimes I have to kind of dig through this to find what I'm looking for. I don't know how this is generated, but you know what I'm kind of getting at? It's like when we do budgets, we have a separate sheet
Yeah,
for
these
each
are
one.
separate.
Huh?
These are separate.
They are, but I was just wondering if there's a way to identify it.
Way at the
Huh?
top. It's in small print. It says highway and then it says police.
Well, maybe my old eyes are missing something.
It's small print, Joe. I get it.
I had to
It's,
go through and circle it so I could find it.
I see. So, yeah. Thank you.
Each of the pages has the.
When I don't look at the heading, I'm just looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
So you've already done what I've asked you to do, so thank you.
You're welcome, Joe.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from any select board members? Ouch. These reports. Any department heads want to comment on spending at all? Anything we should be aware of? I think the only one still on is Dave for the highway. And he's already talked about salt and contract plowing and
He would gladly take and overspend the salt budget if he could find some salt.
That would be nice. So,
yeah.
in my experience, kind of the way I approach it, if you look at a budget sheet for just highway, it's a page and 2/3, page and 3/4. The bottom right-hand number in the whole thing is percent of budget.
Yeah.
And because everything washes out, really. So, like last year we were, I don't remember the number now, but I want to say around $200,000 in salt, budgeted 125 or 130. We were over in paving, but then everything kind of washes out. So it all really boils down to that bottom number. As long as that bottom number is not negative anything, we're good. So that's kind of how I approach it. I don't know, like trying to manage each and every account just breaks your mind after a while because it gets into so much stuff. I mean, I watch that number every time I do my bills. I look at that number and see where I am. And then when I get to the spring of the year, middle of April, I start to really pay attention, in May and June. And then at that point, it's like, okay, this is where we are. We need to conserve. Now, that is it's a habit from my other life in the city, because in the city, there was no carryover.
Yeah.
So I have kind of a little airbag to fall onto if I go over here, which I try not to do because in my brain doesn't work that way. Like, overspending to bring down carryover when I first came here perplexed me to no end because my brain doesn't work that way. So I try to make sure that bottom number is relatively close to zero, but still a positive number. And I believe last year, with all of the craziness that happened last year, I believe we were like $3,000 over budget. We hit carryover for like $3,000.
Yeah.
And last year was nuts, and this year is going to be probably nutser.
Yeah.
Right. Any further questions of Kari about the budgets? Do we have contested elections, Kari?
We do not.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have anybody running against each other, another person. So,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, to come out and support the budgets and the articles and the school budget, that's what we need. We need people to come and vote for that.
Yes, please. Okay, and you've got a BCA meeting coming up.
I do, February 4th. And thank you
Okay.
for reminding me of that. If you are listening to this and you have received an email from me to come to one of those meetings to schedule yourself at a poll, I would love to hear if you're coming or not. I haven't heard from too many people. So I'd love to know if you either want to work on town meeting day or if you're coming, and we'll put you on the schedule.
Okay. Katie, if there's nothing else, thank you very much, Kari.
Welcome. Have a good night.
Oh, wait, there's one other thing, but it's actually for Chris, but he's not here, right?
Right. He had application to get
He
approved.
does, and it is right here, and this is a fire department application for April Elwick on Stratton Road. She is, they met with April, they approved and passed it on to the select board, so the request is that we approve April as firefighter.
I believe she would fill one of those city seats. She resides in the city. We actually went to school with her, so we
Okay.
know her.
Alrighty,
And all the necessary background stuff has been done.
yeah. Did you
Yes.
do the, yeah, it's all done.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a motion?
Move to accept.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve April Elwick as a firefighter with the Rutland Town Fire Department. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. So, okay, now that's it. Thank you, Kari.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Delehanty. No, Mike. Joe Denardo, Public Safety Building.
No meeting, no report.
Okay. And Bill Sweet, Town Administrator.
No meeting but reports.
Yeah, there you
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Joe, to answer your question before, last week was a busy week.
go. I just forgot.
I actually just got a notification a little while ago from UPS that they have rescheduled our proof to be delivered tomorrow. Thank goodness. That cuts it close, but we'll be done in time. So we'll start off.
They don't send that to you electronically.
No, so we eventually get an electronic copy of it, but the one we review is as close to what goes out in the mail. It's an unbound copy of what goes out in the mail.
Yeah.
So we just have to go through, I go through it like literally page by page, just make sure it's correct. And so it's not electronic, it's an actual paper copy. And then everything looks good. They'll sign off on that, send it back, and then, they'll start the production. We'll go to them. Then from there, just all up them. They print it, they bring it to the post office, and we don't see it till it shows up in the mail. So
Perfect.
wonderful. So that is good. They will have the copies to the post office to send out by February 12th. That's the date they need to get them there to get them out in the mail. So everything gets where it's supposed to be when it should be there. Yeah, so that's all set. Here, North Star Fireworks.
Oh,
I touched on it very lightly the other night.
that doesn't sound.
There's bad news and then there's worse news.
Okay.
So July 4th spots left in the end of October. There are so many towns that booked them that they weren't even available at all. The organization in the city, that nonprofit, raised apparently a substantial amount of money and long ago booked the 4th of July. So there will be fireworks in the city from North Star on the 4th of July, which is pretty good. So I said, what are the dates available? She said, basically any date. So we do have some options in there, but that's not going to be the problem. So she said,
4th is a Saturday.
4th is a Saturday. But reserve your date picking for a second. She said, your show last year was 13,000. So yes, it was. She's like, it's going to be 20 this year. The tariffs are driving the costs through the roof.
Yep.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
Yep.
So it's a 55% increase or so over last year. And that's it.
I can tell you where I
Right,
got
I
this.
have an intermunicipal meeting coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I thought this was a key topic, but, well, I guess it's a component, maybe it's not an issue if there is.
Well,
But I'm thinking if they need some more money, maybe we can top them up for that thing and then otherwise
Yeah.
get it.
I mean, we put 15,000 in the budget and that's not even enough. I mean, that's
Still
That's-
gonna be 5,000. Sure.
and for exactly what we had last year, right? We're for what we had last year. So I just did a quick a little meeting, talk with Mike back there, and he was saying opinion, like, it's not worth it
It is not.
to do it. It's a great experience, but it's just too much money for what it is. So,
Up in smoke very quickly.
Yeah,
Half
just-
an hour, it's gone.
yeah,
So, and that doesn't matter when we have them.
it does not matter when we have it. The cost of the physical fireworks have been driven up by tariffs, and that's just what it is. They were acquired last year by a larger company. A national company bought North Star. She said, so there are some labor costs that are part of that. She's like, but about 90% of our increase is from the tariffs, and there's just nothing they can do. So
I suppose going forward, the long range picture would be to work with the city
Yeah.
on doing these together.
Yeah.
It's a small.
well, it's the city isn't doing it. The city didn't pay for it.
Or the organization
nonprofit.
within the city, if they
Yeah.
want to work with us.
There was a 501c3 that raised the money to do it. So
I think what we need to do is things other than fireworks to celebrate the 250th. And we're still not,
Mary, I didn't.
things other than fireworks.
Yeah.
Like a parade, a bonfires.
That
on the
would be
high.
great.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
I was here 50 years ago when we did it. And
Yeah.
the town did like a whole day. We were at the school. You and you would be, I don't know, how old were you 50 years ago? Probably not.
Minus.
So you're no help, but I can remember that.
Yep.
The fire department, I think, had something to do with it, but there was like a barbecue during the day at there, and then there was a dance in the evening at the school.
Yep.
And I can remember being however old, 20 something years old, and doing hay rides all day and things like that. So I don't know if we want to try to put something together.
We have townwide celebration.
Do we do townwide celebration on the 4th of July this year to try to, or
No.
that weekend?
we've got,
No, we've already done it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
not this
We
year.
can't do that. So that's the actual, I mean, we
And
could,
if we do try to do that, we're gonna run up against so many other events and things like that.
yeah,
People will come.
so.
Yeah.
So I mean, you'd have to do something when we have the other, I don't know.
Yeah. And as Matt said, we're gonna sit down with the city.
Well, maybe this
Yeah,
portion of it,
city's
if the city has washed their hands of the fireworks and there's another entity that's doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe our partnering with them to have the fireworks and, they'd be in the city, but we would help with the cost. Maybe that would ensure that at least they'll be done every year.
Possible, maybe the city has some other ideas too. Who knows?
I mean, I think that in these,
But that amount of money is just.
It's crazy.
Yes, you can say.
and I don't suppose we can go, before North Star was involved, okay? The fire department used to shoot these fireworks off
Right.
up there.
Yeah,
They would go up. We had somebody made the tubes for them. Clifford Young would bring his horse trailer and they put all the fireworks in there to keep them out of the weather.
Yep.
And there was a couple of real close calls with Destiny that wasn't, but it was a fun time and they did a good job at it. And then the town thought we were exposing our fire department at too much of a risk, so they hired North Star. And in the beginning, you could get a really good show for $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then it's just declined. I think some of the tubes were still at McKinley
They were, yeah.
when the station was.
They were up on top.
and the old fashioned stuff was like bicycle and tricycle parades and kids in costume and, water polo among fire.
I mean, if there's something we could
departments
we could try to do something. I don't know if we threw something together quick at the pool or, cause that's open and it should be warm by then, but might be something that rec committee and Mike and talk about something.
And by the way, if you want to join us for this meeting, you're welcome. I think I mentioned it to you. Yeah.
But
All right. So.
okay, that killed the fireworks right there.
Pretty much.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. So, well, when we get the rec committee together and see if we can talk about some other alternatives for that. But that's, yeah.
So if we don't shoot fireworks off, is it within our scope of allocating funds to use those for some other Fourth of July celebration type?
Well, it's there
Yeah,
and it will be in the correct fiscal year,
Right.
so,
yeah.
yeah.
And everybody in the town $1 bill or a lighter, it'd be cheaper.
Yeah, it would be. Sparkler.
Hoppers.
We had a bunch of
Everybody with
sparklers,
sparklers and,
yeah.
yeah.
Sparkler parade.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was, that was pretty shocking. So,
if it wouldn't scare the horses. We always had fireworks at our.
Well,
cookout.
dog owners will be pleased because it does scare the dogs.
And then,
hearts and minds of dog owners.
That's
Yeah.
right.
but friends of mine would bring fireworks to our annual cookout on the hill. And that's on the west side, so it was a pretty good show for the rest of the valley.
Yeah.
For about 20 minutes, a half an hour. You got to see them a few times.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. So, let's see. The other rest of the things we have in your packet, the first thing there is a updated agreement from the Regional Planning Commission. They sent us a new contract to do our road erosion inventory. The original one, mistakenly was going to bill us for time and materials, which is not the way they do it.
okay.
So this is for a single sum and they do the project. So this is an amendment to the contract. And they apologize and send us a new copy.
So it's $5,584.
Yes.
Some. And did we put a line item?
It's in Dave's budget
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Which?
Yeah. It's, engineering services.
Some of the
Okay.
engineering
Yeah.
services.
Is there?
And this is a not to exceed number. So if it's possible,
Not to exceed,
yeah.
right?
So isn't there a line item in the general fund for engineering also? Or did we move?
No,
No,
there's stormwater
stormwater, okay.
and the professional services, but not
There was
this.
one we moved from one.
Stormwater. We moved stormwater from
Yeah.
Highway,
to
Yeah.
general.
General, okay.
Yes.
I thought that was only fair.
yeah,
And
cause
this also, when this came up, if they do the entire project, they get that, whatever that number is. But if we help them, that obviously reduces, and I want to do that because, I want these guys to know where our culverts are and where all that stuff is. So we totally intend on being there. So it'll be less than that 5,500 and whatever that number is. Because we're going to be there with them when they do it.
Okay, good.
Mary, you have a original in the green folder
I
there.
do. And so there's one signature line. Is there a motion?
so do we
to
want,
approve who signs?
so since Dave's gonna be involved with this, do we want him to sign on behalf of the town?
Well, but we'll be spending the money, so.
It's his, but I mean, it's coming out of his budget.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Doesn't matter. I'm here.
okay.
That's why he's not here, so.
All right, I'll make a
We have a
motion,
grant for that too, by the way.
Okay.
make the motion that we sign this and authorize the board chair to sign on behalf of the town.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
That's the quote on the.
Yeah, the next one's all the police things. The next item in the packet is the Flory Plaza information. This is a mostly after the fact permit. You have a map there too of what they are doing. The letter from Nicole Kesselring to the Active 50 Commission is pretty straightforward about what was done, and there is some work that needs to happen. That's the new work. It is groundskeeping. Basically, they're going to move a dumpster. They're going to remove the RC car track and infrastructure. There were some issues with that, with lights and with noise and light pollution, and that track is coming out in its entirety. So that won't be a problem anymore. They're going to take it out gravel parking lot and reestablish lawn, removing gravel surface, They're going to be moving with the dumpster and reestablishing vegetation in areas. This is also is for correcting some work they did on the sewer line there. So this is I've talked to department heads and none have issues with being able to provide services based upon this project.
We can do this two ways. Because they haven't checked out the last few, we could approve it subject to just a final check with the department heads and have Bill sign off.
So
Okay, motion's made to do just that.
I'm gonna recuse myself.
Okay. So Sharon, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second to the motion to have Bill go through the municipal impact questionnaire and check as appropriate and then sign off. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0 with one abstention. Okay, so that's in.
Back in the green folder.
Yep.
You have on your desks, and Mary, you had the original in there, a tax map update contract. It got to me just a little bit too late, so I didn't get it in the packet. This is for CAI Technology. They are the ones that have for several years now done our tax map update and our online mapping update. And this is our annual agreement with them as we anticipated and as we budgeted for.
And yes, we do budget for it, and there's a line in here for that. And we all get to sign it tonight if you all agree. And the $3,400, I think we've budgeted $3,500 a month. So is there a motion? Second. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the tax map quote and contract. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sharon, are you an aye?
I'm an aye.
Okay, thank you.
I can't hear a bloody thing.
I turn that thing off.
Okay.
Please.
Start over here.
I'm freezing.
Okay.
Presumably I was eating, but I said it's 60.
Yes. I'm putting my coat on.
Yeah. Commission, Lori Plaza. Approved fiscal budget. Selected project list. Okay, what else, Bill?
The next in your packet, number 5, is a copy of the letter we went over with at the highway committee. I did the annual review of all of our sewer allocations versus usage. And this year there was only one that was over, and it was the aforementioned car wash.
Yeah.
And it was not a small amount. So I double checked and triple checked, and it's an accurate number. So they exceeded their allocation by 12,000 gallons.
Per day?
I'm sorry, yes. So they are allowed to discharge up to 7,200 gallons. I'm sorry. They're allowed to discharge up to 7,200 gallons per day. Their actual usage was 12,562. So they're roughly 5,000 over, which does require them to apply for that difference to bring them into compliance. And if you remember from years past, the rate is $5 per gallon.
It's like 25 grand.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
But it's accurate.
Yeah.
So
Underneath could it be signed?
Okay.
so
Do you send the notice or do we approve?
the notices, I send the notices. That's how I've done every year. So
Okay,
Yeah.
do we need to do anything?
Nope.
Just, well,
the
if they
only
apply for the increase, then we
that
get
comes
do
back to
something.
you to get approved. Yeah, that's just the thing that's
Right.
your involvement.
Alrighty.
The last thing in the packet is a letter sent to the board with no information, no context. So
Okay,
there it is.
Received on
so
file.
received on file.
Yep. And, couple things. So a last paper thing on your desk. Dave and the highway guys had said they've had a increasing problem with either residents or contractors plowing or depositing snow onto the roads after they've gone by. That is actually in direct violation of state statute. So we drafted a letter. This was late this afternoon. And I have a list right now of 20 different addresses that they've identified, and that's a fraction of what there actually are, but that's what they've given me so far. So this is a letter essentially to advise the people of the statute and their responsibility. So
Okay, and this will go to the people that have been identified?
yes, so the statute identifies the property owner as the responsible party.
Yeah.
So that's who it will be, who will go to, and as we come up with them, they'll give, we have, Dave hasn't had time, but, we have a shared, document that they can pull up and they can just put the addresses in it. They put the addresses in it and I go and I'll see that they're there, and then I go back and I fill all the information and send the letter. So that's what we're working on, for that.
Can that information be sent to the PD?
Sure. It is there is
It's a sizable fix.
there are penalty clauses associated with it. We always strive to correct the issue rather than,
And repeat offenders will be visited by uniform.
So the spreadsheet we have, I have a column to track each time we send a letter, and so that way we'll identify that we gave opportunities. So it
is a safety hazard.
It is
it's one of the things that I just annoys the heck out of me.
Yeah. So Dave actually did receive a compliment from a town resident on the plowing this year. That said, I agree, and he was very happy to hear that. But they were very happy. Came from up off Killington Avenue, and they said, the amount of snow and everything, guys did a great job and appreciate it, and was very, very happy. So that was nice. Dave had mentioned the vehicle replacement schedule. So I've been pulling them together. I've got Dave, Chris, and Mike's. Ted, we just got to get together to move things, but it's a single document that we have tabs for all the departments. So they're all there. And it lives in our Microsoft system. So they can all just go into it and see it and make adjustments and changes. I've got a link there to the depreciation calculator that we have. So if we want to look at that, they can just click it and go back over to there, and we can look at the depreciation schedules and play around some numbers. And I'm going to make that, based upon what we went over before, I'm going to make some changes to that. So, if they want to say like, okay, what if I purchase a vehicle this year, and it'll show them the impact on it rather than make it easier to manipulate, but show like the annual contributions and things, so they can make some decisions going forward. But having the two documents merged together, they can look at when we purchased it, when we're expecting it, and the money, and making sure the depreciation is going to keep up with it. So it'll all be together. And we get a couple details and things we got to work out in it, but then we'll share it with the committee and the board too, so they can take a look at it. But
we did have a question at pre-town meeting about whether we should be including a factor that increases each year the size of the grand list. And I got thinking about it afterwards, and then realized we also don't put any factor in for cost of living increases.
Inflation or anything like that. Yeah.
So maybe the two
That was
balance.
my point, that I tried to answer that question, is that we haven't done that.
Yeah.
Because the increase in the grand list kind of accounts for, and history has proved this, through the 40 years or more that we've been using it for the fire department, that as that grand list goes up, kind of just covers the inflation that you can't account for. Now, I understand that if there was a substantial increase, then we could adjust things, But given what we've been told by Marcia, we're not gonna see this happen for 6 years. 5 to 6 years, right?
I mean, you could have little changes from a year to year.
Yeah.
Right.
You're,
and
you're
they could-
talking the
So it's
Super
gonna be,
Walmart
it's
when
gonna,
that comes
what
online.
we have now is kind of the only change in the grand list that the town has now, basically, is a personal property tax. That's what's driving the grand list to some extent. And it's changed, but property values, because they're declining, but they haven't declined, but they're less than what they should be. So I'm getting-
Yeah, I know.
You know, so that significant increase, but we're talking 6 years down the road before we're even gonna see this. So how do you figure in a factor that you have no idea?
Yeah.
And I did mention that it's kind of the same thing with 1% money.
Yeah.
And we're only talking a year at a time, not, but that could possibly be in 6 years. So I think the system's not broke, and I don't think we should try to fix it.
Yeah, and
Until it breaks.
I'm also reminded that the amount of money in there is, it's not an exact science. We're putting money aside to cover most of whatever the cost might
Yeah,
be.
and
At the time, we think we might be purchasing it, but we might be sliding it for a year of purchase. We might, so there are a number of other factors in there.
I mean, I was, and I think
Yeah.
when we do get together with Dave and, on the highway, that's a question I'm gonna pose to him.
Yeah,
The next truck, I mean, we purchased a truck a year ago. We authorized him. We'll be lucky if we see that truck for next winter. So at what point do we go out and look at the next one? If we're gonna have a 2 to 3 year wait for a plow
that's
truck,
true.
we might be finding ourselves with 2 trucks on the books that we're gonna buy and not have either one of them yet. It's this whole, and I don't foresee getting better.
Yeah,
Well, if you remember, Dave, the bottleneck that kind of caused that a little bit, Dave brought up at the meeting.
Is Viking.
But there was the
The electric truck.
requirement for the electric vehicle
oh,
sale,
right.
which threw everybody into overdrive to place an order. And then they pulled the requirement back, but all the orders were in. So it just,
And this may ease off, but I'll bet you there's a 3 year
oh yeah,
backlog right now
It's gonna take years to fix that.
to fix it.
Yep.
And electric is good where electric works, but it don't
Right.
work in big trucks.
Or in really cold temperatures.
Yeah, I was reading a thing today online.
Yeah.
People go out and start their electric vehicle, they can do them on your app, start it. So you turn on the heat warmer and the heat and everything. And by the time you get in your vehicle, like 5 to 10% of the charge is gone.
Yeah.
And then cold weather drains batteries and their reliability is reduced by a factor.
The range and effectiveness is not quite at par for what.
Well, we could have a highway truck. They could load it, get it going, and they'd come down Post Road and get halfway up the East Pittsford Road and have to
That's it.
call Earl's to come and get it.
Yep.
Cause it'd be dead.
And then it'd be charging all day long.
So anyway,
The other two things that I'm sort of down under action item
Yep.
E, which is the pre-town meeting discussion. That was one thing that came up. Another was, Matt's question about whether we should be adding more to the salt budget. We didn't, it's anybody's guess. It's not a bad suggestion, but we're budgeting for next winter in the middle of this winter. So, we didn't make any adjustments to that portion of the budget. And then the question about whether we take off the, excavator or leave it on. The excavator is still on the ballot and the voters will decide what they want us to do. So anything else that we should look at for pre-town meeting? I mean, we did have that meeting immediately after, so we did cover this. Okay. And do you have anything else
Well, nothing. The week of February 23rd, I will
for you? Great.
be here we have the next board meeting, but there's one important.
You won't be here for the
We'll
24th.
not be here on the 24th.
Okay.
We'll make sure you're all set.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all you care about.
this is a little better. The
This will
system
be
now is
easier.
it's a little easier.
It's a lot easier to work, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Somebody bring in their 10-year-old to show us, walk us through this.
Yeah, I know. We do have to show up at each select board meeting at least to approve the orders so people can get paid.
Yeah.
Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Tempting though it is to, cancel one after all we've had. Remaining on here is the disaster recovery process, which is.
Yes, now
Continuing?
the town report is.
Yep.
All but done as of tomorrow, then I can shift a little bit more. Some of the time that was spent on that over to this one, so.
And there will be a cost involved with that, right?
There
Could be.
I don't know, with creating the disaster recovery plan,
Well, I'm just thinking, we didn't budget anything in next year's budget for
we
it.
did not.
I guess we could
So
find some if we need it.
there's gonna be a lot of discussions, and I have a very helpful person helping me with through this so far, so she's gonna give me some guidance on that. And
Thank you, Robin.
yes, thank you, Robin. So we started on that. And there's a lot of background before we actually get into literally writing the plan. It's just gonna be a lot of background work to
Yeah.
create the basis for it. So that's by the time we get to this point next year, we'll be a lot farther ahead, but we won't have it done.
Okay, we did talk quite a bit about Pocket Park. And see if there's anything else there. And fire district water we touched on. And I'm looking, so we've the select board project list. Committee reports, we had highway and police, and we've covered both of those. So our usual motion maker is not here. Motion's been made to adjourn. Sharon, do you want a second?
Second.
You're taking us all out to dinner.
Non-debatable. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.